Hey, welcome back. Hey, welcome back to the channel, Shake Hands with Destiny, where our whole thing, we talk about faith and finance. Why? Because of what we want to do is eradicate hardships and stimulate lives. Again, I only shake hands with my destiny if you shake hands with your destiny. So let's get it. Let's go. But before I jump too far in, what I would love for you to do here is go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you like this content, because we're going to be dropping constant information on here about faith and finance. So let's get it. Authorized users. Let's talk about it, y'all. Some people say authorized users work. Some people say authorized users don't work, okay? Well, we're going to see the truth, okay? Because here's the thing. This can be a great asset for you, or it can be a detriment, okay? It can be the biggest scam going if you don't understand what you're doing and how to utilize and what an authorized user is. Okay, what is an authorized user? Well, we sometimes call authorized users what you call a piggyback. Okay, what is a piggyback? What that simply means is you're using someone else's credit to help you. Are you co-signing on their card? No. Do you have access to their card information or to access a card? That depends on if they choose to give you a credit card or choose for you not to. You can absolutely only be listed on IE's primary account. So what does this mean? Let me explain. Let's just say my friend Shanika here. Shanika, she wants to be on my credit card because Shanika has a 600 credit score and she has some late payments and she just needs more of an established credit profile to help her out. She needs more payments and she wants to drop her utilization. What happens, and I'll explain this in depth here in just a second. One, I'm going to add her to my credit card. Two, what's going to happen? I'm not going to give her a credit card at all. I don't trust her with my credit card. No, that's not that I don't trust Shanika. But in this case, I'm not going to give her a card. So does she have any access to my card? The answer is no. However, my credit history, I'm going to use for an example. I give her card X. Card X I've had for 10 years. So now she's going to gain 10 years worth of history. Okay, so by adding my history to her, she's going to gain 10 years. Understand, when you talk about your FICO scoring model, it works like this: 35, 30, 35, 30, 15, 10, 10. I'm going to go ahead and share that on the screen so you can see it. 35% is credit history. 30% is amount owed, your utilization. 15% is your credit history, your length. 10% is your credit mix, or your 10% is your new credit, okay? So when you understand this particular model, I'm going to share another screen so you can take a peek at it here. For an example, when you look at payment history, that's humongous, right? Remember I said that's 35%? That's equivalent to saying 192.5 points. Because when you average out the points, it's a total of 550 points. Okay, so what that simply means, if you look at this, hopefully you can see the screen here. If you take the payment history, okay, someone's payment history, for an example, is excellent if they have utilization, as you can see, 0 to 9%. Good is 10 to 29%. That's as far as utilization. Fair, 30 to 49%. So it's fair to believe, oh my goodness, I need my utilization less than 10%, right? Perfect example. This is where an authorized user is going to help you with your utilization. So for mathematical purposes, let's say for an example, you have $10,000 worth of credit available to you. And right now, you have maxed out your credit cards at $10,000. So that means you're at 100% utilization. As you can see on the chart, it says it is very poor if you're at 75% or more. That is going to tank your credit score. Okay, so what you would do is, I'm adding Shanika to my credit card. So I'm going to put her on one of my cards that's going to now give her $20,000 for an example. So now I'm going to give her 20 additional thousand. So now she has 10,000 of her own dollars. I'm going to give her 20,000 credit limit. But in my case, I don't owe any $20,000. So that means she has $30,000. and she only owes $10,000. Okay, so what she's gonna now owe is 33%. Okay, so as you can look on the chart at 33% underutilization, is it excellent? No. Is it good? Almost. No. But it's fair. It's now 30 to 49%. So if she started out with a 600 credit score, by dropping her utilization now to 33% versus 100%, very likely she's going to get a humongous bump in her credit just by adding an individual to her, someone with good credit and low utilization to their credit profile. How does this work if you said on-time payments? Look at your chart again. I'm going to pull that up. As you can see, payment history, again, is 35%. Okay, when you talk about derogatory and late payments. So what does this mean? As you can see, it is excellent if you have 100 payments. So let's just say you've been late 5 times out of 100. So that means you're at 95% for payments. That sounds good in theory, correct? It does. But look where 97%. So if you've had a car loan and you've been late 5 times out of 5 years and all of your credit history is now at 95%, that's very bad. But let's take again, I'm going to add my credit history, which is at 100%, and let's just say for an example, we're going to give her 200 more 200 more credit payments, and that's going to jump her percentage from 95% to 98%. That jumps her into fair. So again, you see where just by adding an authorized user can help you out here. All right, so now that's helping with your utilization. It's also helping with what? Your on-time payments, okay? Now, in this case, because I have 10 years, that's going to also offer, because Shanika's young. She's just 2 years in her credit profile. So now she's going to gain 10 years worth of credit history. So now that's going to even jump her even higher. So as you can see on the chart, again, I'm going to keep this chart here. What does it say on that chart? Very poor under 2 years. When you start to get to 7 or 8 or 9+ years, that's excellent. So that's going to increase her credit. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to get into inquiries because that's something, the new credit. I don't have any new credit in this case, so that would help her out as well. That doesn't affect the authorized user portion of it because it depends on if she has inquiries or new credit. Let's say, for example, she doesn't have any. So where would I find authorized users? Okay, let's get into this. Yes, you can, and I'll put a link below where you can purchase authorized users. Do not, I repeat, I don't necessarily recommend it, but there are some respectable places that do sell authorized users. Okay, I don't sell them. Okay, do I recommend them? Not necessarily, no. However, you can purchase them. What would be the reason for me purchasing an authorized user? One of the reasons for purchasing an authorized user is what? What you are able to do is purchase it, and you will see a spike in your increase because you'll be purchasing someone that has low utilization, someone that has no late payments, someone that has a very long credit length. So what happens is, as long as they're reporting on your credit history, that could take you from a 600 to a 680. Okay, so that could help you for a very short time to purchase things like a vehicle or a home or things of that nature. And I'm going to give you the pros and cons here in just a second. However, I would recommend more likely is get with a family member that has no late payments and they have very low credit utilization, preferably with a long history. What that means is you say, hey, I got somebody that, hey, they have great, perfect credit, but their utilization is very high on that card, is 75%. And if your card is already maxed out on utilization, that's not going to help you at all. It could help you on the payment side, but again, you want to preferably get with someone that has under 15% at the bare minimum of utilization and have zero collections or zero late payments on that particular card. Okay, I said collections, disregard that because it's only based on that particular card. So they could have had one card that they were late on, but that particular card they've never been late on. That's what you want with low utilization. Okay, so what are the pros? What are the cons? The pros, I've went over those. You get to piggyback on someone else's. You can go ask a cousin or a good friend or a relative about this, and you don't have to have any access whatsoever. You can say, "Hey, can you just let me stay on there for about 6 months?" And then that allows your credit to jump, and then you can build your profile out properly. Which I have other videos where you can build out your credit profile. Secondly, it's going to lower your utilization quite a bit depending on the person's uh, card profile that you're utilizing. So you have a lot of benefits there. What are some of the cons? You generally don't want to have more than 2 authorized users, at the maximum generally 3 authorized users on your credit profile, because you don't want to build a credit profile based on authorized users, because banks can frown upon that. Okay. Secondly, what's another bad thing? If that person gets a high utilization or all of a sudden gets a couple of late payments, unfortunately, that's going to be a ding also on your record. So if that was to happen, what you want to do is have that person remove you from that particular credit card as an authorized user, so that way you're not being negatively affected on that particular card. So again, authorized users can definitely be helpful if you utilize them and understand them properly. Okay, hey, go ahead, get into our freedom course or our personal course by clicking that link below, and you'll get all of this information with video content. Grab our ebook, so forth. All of that information is in there. Okay, again, I only shake hands with my destiny. If you shake hands with your destiny, like and subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go.